President Trump tonight defending his order to target Qassem Soleimani.
Soleimani made the death of innocent people his sick passion. We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
And while the president says the U.S. does not want regime change, he's ready to retaliate if Iran seeks revenge.
If Americans anywhere are threatened, we have all of those targets already fully identified, and I am ready and prepared to take whatever action is necessary.
Now, new fallout here at home.
This is the equivalent of the Iranians assassinating the U.S. Secretary of Defense.
Democrats demanding details about the strike, slammed by some as reckless, with concerns the president's overstepping his authority, despite the administration citing an imminent threat to Americans in the region.
Is that a justification enough, in your view, for this strike to have been carried out?
Well, Holly, I want to see what is the intelligence behind that.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pointing out the president did not notify key congressional leaders in advance, even though one of the president's GOP allies got a heads up of his own.
I was briefed about the potential operation when I was down in Florida. I appreciate being brought into the orbit.
The president's party largely united in praising the strike, arguing the world is less dangerous now after the death of the leader of an organization branded terrorists by the administration.
His terrorist leadership has been ended.
The president took a decisive action. He took the right action. And candidly, it's ones that will save American lives.
And late tonight here in South Florida, the president said he believed that Soleimani had been planning what he described as a very major attack. I'm told by sources close to the president he is confident in his decision to carry out this strike and in his authority to do so.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.